How does that look? Whoops.
Ha! That looks terrible. Wow, my bike looks weird for some reason.
Can you see me?
It has your regular 200 millimeters, blah, 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 blah. But here comes some garbage truck. Oh, could I pick the worst time to try to do this? This is my 2021 Marin San Quentin 3 bike check and review. Start out with the upgrades that I put into this bike. Originally, it came with the RockShox Revelation 130 millimeter fork. I bumped up the travel to 160 mil, and I have a Marzocchi Bomber Z1 coil. The main thing I noticed from the Revelation to this fork is how plush it is. It takes way less impact to get it moving through its travel. I took this out to Canuga and I rode a few rough trails with it, and that fork really helped a lot, way better than the 130. The only downside to putting a longer travel fork on this bike is how it handles and jumps. And for the vast majority of what I ride, there's not too many steep takeoffs. It's more gradual stuff on flow trails, so it's completely fine. Okay, next change that I've done to this bike. I changed the pedals. Well, of course I changed the pedals. The original pedals, they're completely trashed, of course, with all bikes. And I put on some 1-up pedals. And those have worked very, very well. I mean, they look pretty nice, don't they? I'm very happy with them. Once I got that purple pedal, I thought, well, I need to start putting some more purple stuff on here. So I got some purple valve stems. I got some purple leather on the bar. I'll show you all this stuff in little clips. And I have a purple chain guide. Yeah, that's the next thing I'll talk about. So I put a bash guard on here. I picked it up from 1-up for about 200 bucks. I mean, there's a few scuffs on there. I'd say the second best upgrade that I've done for this bike is putting Cushcore. The first upgrade was the fork, the best one. The second best was the Cushcore I put in this rear tire. I'll be running usually around 18 PSI, and it helps a lot with rough trails, especially on a hardtail. So, yep. Oh yeah, and I decided to put a less aggressive tire on the back. I decided to put a Minion SS on the rear, semi-slick. So you got fast rolling in the center, and you still have some decent corner knobs on the side. And that'll be better for, you know, flow trails and stuff. On a pump track or something, with an Assegai front and rear, it was really grippy, and you go in the corners. Oh yeah, and one other change I did to the bike was the bars. I'll show you a picture of my old bars right now, and that will help you understand why I got new bars. I decided to get some PNW Loam, I think it's called PNW Loam, PNW Range, yeah. And I mean, they're good. They're 780. They're good bars. I don't know, nothing super fancy about them. Okay, now let's talk about what I don't like about this bike. Number one, I don't like the rims. They seem to be pretty weak, and that's an issue for a hardtail especially, because banging around that rear rim just, it's gonna get a lot of beating on a hardtail. It was out of true within the first week. One reason I know they're not super high quality is because they have the exact same rims on the Marin San Quentin 1, which is twice as cheap as this bike. Another thing I'm not happy with are the cranks. I already bent the cranks. They didn't take me very long to bend the cranks. The other day I cased something really bad and it bent even more. So the whole bike is spec'd with Dior, except for the cranks. I mean, they save some money, and I'm not complaining. At least they're not square taper cranks, so that's fine. Now, some pleasant surprises that I had with this bike. I was very pleased with the shifting of the group set they put on there. The Shimano Dior group set is phenomenal. I've had no issues with it. But this thing is so much quieter. It just, there's no problems with it. I think that the derailleur is more durable than my SRAM stuff. I completely bashed it a few times and completely fine still. The brakes, 4-piston brakes, I don't know, they work way better than any 2-piston brakes I've ever had. What else should I say about this bike? I know what I need to say next. The head angle is now no longer 65, it is now 63.75-ish. So here's my overall impressions of the bike. In my opinion, this is the best bike I've had, okay? For doing everything on. I live around trails, only about 15 minutes away, and they are not particularly rough. So this is perfect for that. There's definitely some rough trails, but this will do everything. I took it all at Canuga, it's a downhill park in North Carolina, hit some 40-foot jumps on it, then I went and hit some loam tracks, and all this type of stuff, and it handled very well and everything. If I could only have one bike, this style of bike would be the best for me, for anybody, I think. An aggressive hardtail is the way to go if you can only have one bike, in my opinion. So in the end, I think this is a great bike for how it comes stock for just $2,000. I would recommend this bike to anybody who wants to ride anything. Thanks so much for watching. Stick around. If you're not ready to subscribe to my channel, go ahead and do that now. We've got a few things to look forward to. We've been doing some work up at the trails, and I'm working on a standing backflip. So stick around for those, and we'll see you in the next video.